So we're going to go ahead and start today's meeting. Commissioner Pinter is on her way, but unfortunately the snow squall is what they're calling it. Kind of delayed her a bit. So, Erica, if we could have roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry?
Here.
Commissioner Tedesco?
Here.
Commissioner Odorizio?
Here.
Commissioner Baca?
Here. All right, if I could have a motion, or actually pledge of allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, if we could have a motion to approve the agenda. So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Well, next is awards and presentations. It's all about the first thing is the Adams County Education Consortium 8th Grade Career Expo Top Student Award Recognition. I love this part. It's all about the first impressions, right? That's what our 8th graders are learning when it comes to job interviews. We have a student here who is quite good at showcasing his business skills. He got the top score at the annual ACEC Career Expos. Leisha Fernita is the director of the program. Can you come and tell us about how the scoring works and then introduce our winner?
Thank you. Good morning. This is, I think, the 16th annual Career Expo, and it was just a great success this year. Commissioner Tedesco was there. We had almost 6,000 students. The focus this year was on career technical education booths led by students in high school. Almost every one of our 7 districts is now implementing career and technical education classes in high school. It's a key move to apprenticeships and internships and hands-on learning so that students are seeing that there are lots of different opportunities, 4-year colleges, 2-year certificates, but also apprenticeship programs. What's really exciting for us is that this year, because we were showcasing career and technical education booths, more booths were directed by students and even our businesses this year, but they are lined next to our industry and businesses. So we had 51 student-led booths. Before the event, only 15% of 8th grade students knew what career technical education was. 72% knew what it was after the event. This is a key statistic for our high schools because the next year they will enroll in some of those courses. This is really an exposure event. A lot of our other programs are about getting deeper and following up and making sure they're getting on career paths. But this event is really like, wow, there's a lot more out there than I ever thought was possible or even knew about, so that they get that spark, because we know 8th grade is that key moment where you either kind of engage because you see yourself in something as you go into high school, or you start to check out of high school. So really pivotal moment for our students. This year, we're really excited because Joseph is from Strasburg. Strasburg is our smallest district. I want to reiterate that 3 or 4 of our top winners were all from Strasburg this year, which is kind of unheard of with 6,000 students there, that our smallest district made such a showing. So a thank you to the school, to their counselors, and to the students for engaging so much in career pathway work in Strasburg. The way the scoring works is that they go around and they're essentially learning to network for the first time with all our different booths. They give their business card to each of those employers, and employers then put the business card of the students they think really shined through, both in just their presentation and in their ability to engage with the employer. And Joseph was chosen as that winner. So we're really excited. Just when you have Commissioner Tedesco was at the event, it is really hard to be noticed at that event. It is massive, over 6,000 people. So to be able to showcase yourself is really just a huge honor, and you should be very proud. I think, based on the remarks by his counselor, obviously Joseph is shining in his academics, but what we're also interested in is like, what are these transferable skills, these essential skills that students are having beyond the classroom that really help them on their career pathway. And one of the main things noted about Joseph was this just like innate desire for curiosity, to learn more, to engage, and to find out. And that's shown through, both your counselors have said that, and obviously that's what the employers saw in you as well. So we're just excited that he was able to rise to the top of so many students, and want to wish you a congratulations.
Congratulations. Do you want to speak, Joseph? Oh, you don't have to. Neither do I. Trust me. I don't want to be here. All right, Commissioner Tedesco.
Joseph, I just have some questions for you because I know you want to speak.
He said he would answer questions.
There you go. So first off, I'd just like to say, your parents and the faculty at these schools are a testimony of what children can do and what young adults can achieve when they have that proper mentorship. And I commend everyone that was involved in your life because it sounds like it really worked out well. But I do have a question for you. What was your favorite booth at that event?
I didn't really know the name, but you'd have to ask my teacher.
Describe what you like.
It was about starting a business and how to like start it and keep it going to achieve your goal.
That's awesome. And just so you know, when you get to that point, we have a lot of services here in Adams County that can help you achieve that. So we hope that you and your parents and your teachers can help you find those and, implement those in your future career, because I think you're going to go a long way. So just so everyone knows, this event is 6,000 students and it is organized chaos. And you guys do such an amazing job of filtering them through, getting them through the entire place, and just your coordination with everybody, the schools, the businesses, the trades. It was amazing. And I am so glad to see a student like this rose to the top and shine. But it does say a lot when you have the top students coming out of Strasburg that you guys are doing something right there. And to the parents, you are amazing because you are the reason your child is standing here as well. So thank you.
And just to add, because you all need to be commended as well, it is now the largest 8th grade career expo in the state. We are just in the process of, we're working with Riverdale Regional Park, and I think we're going to be able to move it. It's going to be 2 days, but we're going to move it into September, so it can also be outside and just help a little bit with this transportation chaos of getting into that Denver area. But it is really an exciting event, and yeah, it's so cool that Adams County is investing so much in 8th grade because it is that moment where students really engage.
Thank you both. Stick around because we have a gift for you, and we'll take photos right after the next presentation. And our chair has shown up. So she could introduce the resolution for our Fair Queens and get with that.
Y'all, there's a snowstorm out there if you haven't noticed. It's a little wild, so be careful. So we're heading into introducing our Fair Queen and our Lady of Waiting, right? So part of our history involves the announcement of our Lady in Waiting and our Queen. We'd like to invite up this year's Lady in Waiting, Sydney Lynn Romo Sonneman, to come down first while I read her biography.
Chair, we have to pass the resolution first.
I apologize.
That's
That
okay.
is
I
not-
had to get a text from the
That
county
is
attorney.
not in my notes. So let's come on down, Sydney, and we'll pass the resolution as you're walking up. So do we have a motion on this resolution?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would like to, I was going to look at I move to pass the resolution recognizing Elsie Oswald as the 2024 Adams County Fair Queen and Sydney Romo Sonneman as the 2024 Lady in Waiting.
We have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
There we go. Thank you. That passes unanimously. Thank you, ladies. All right, starting with Sydney. Sydney Lynn Romo Sonneman, did I get that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the daughter of Victor Romo Chacon and Marilyn Romo Sonneman. Sydney grew up in a big family. She is the sixth of 7 siblings. She lives in a small neighborhood in Commerce City filled with Mexican culture. 4-H and horses are the biggest parts of her life that make her the individual that she is now. Sydney is now in her senior year of high school at Platte Valley High School. She plans to attend Ames Community College for 2 years to study welding, like her big brother, and then CSU, where she will study veterinary science. She's always dreamed of becoming a more influential figure for our fair, and now she's accomplished her goal. Sydney is excited to represent the Adams County Fairgrounds along with Elise and to keep our country way of life alive. So, Sydney, is there anything you'd like to add or say?
Yes, thank you. I do have a couple of things to say. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm glad we all made it here because of Colorado weather. First, I want to say how grateful I am to have this opportunity to talk to you all. I've wanted to meet you guys ever since the competition because you guys do so much for our fair, and you guys are the reason that we can have our fair, and I'm very, very grateful. I also do want to recognize our 8th grader guest here today. Congratulations. It's a really huge honor. Also, I just want to say and give thanks to all of our commissioners, Eva J. Henry, Charles Tedesco, Emma Pinter, Steve Odorizio, and Lynn Baca. You guys truly make it possible for all of us, and I'm so excited to be your 2024 Lady in Waiting, and I can't wait for the 2 years to come. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, congratulations. And now we'd also like to honor Elise Oswald, our 2024 Queen of the Adams County Fair. Let's give her a royal welcome. Let's give both of them a royal welcome. Okay,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Adams County Board of Commissioners. My name is Elsie Oswald.
Oh, Elsie, I'm so sorry.
You're
I read
good.
it as Elise. Sorry,
you,
Elsie.
You will not be the first or last person to call me Elise, I promise. And I'm your 2024 Adams County Fair Queen. So I want to start by thanking all of you, Emma Pinter, Chaz Tedesco, Lynn Baca, Steve Odorizio, Eva Henry. Thank you all so much for supporting the Adams County Fair and our royalty program. Adams County means so much to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to you and everyone else in this room as well. And the Riverdale Park for me has so many great memories, from the Stars and Stripes 4th of July celebration, the 4-H horse rides, horse judging practice, and rabbit hopping, which is just as fun as it sounds. But out of all those events and more, the Adams County Fair has been the most impactful in my life, and it's been what I worked and waited for every year. And I want to thank all of you, and I hope that we'll see you all July 31st through August 4th at the fair. The Adams County Fair truly has a place for everyone, and it's because of you and all of your hard work as commissioners that the fair can be a place for people like me and Sydney to feel like we truly belong. So thank you so much for your time this morning, and I look forward to representing Adams County.
Well, thank you so much. So, Elsie, right?
Yes.
Elsie, I do have your bio as well, so we have to spend a minute talking about how fabulous you are and your parents and why this is important to you. So Elsie Oswald is the 19-year-old daughter of Chris and Paige Oswald. She is a first-year student at CSU. She is majoring in livestock business management with a minor in health and exercise science. She plans to get certified in equine massage at the Rocky Mountain School of Animal Massage. Her dream after her undergrad is to go to a chiropractic college and get certified in equine chiropractics to become a human and equine chiropractor and an equine massage therapist. Elsie has been attending Adams County Fair as long as she can remember and is thrilled to share the joy of the Adams County Fair with you. She is excited to promote the fair and 4-H exhibitors, livestock rides, food, and other activities that make the Adams County Fair great, and she hopes she will join herself and Sydney at the Adams County Fair, the largest county fair in the state of Colorado this summer from July 31st to August 4th. Thank you all so much. Before you go, I know you mentioned a lot of activities. Do you have any specific activities that you're looking forward to?
As someone who showed in 4-H, I know for me, I always like to go down and see any of the 4-H livestock shows, especially since this is my first year out of 4-H. I will probably be looking at some of the competitions that maybe I didn't have time to look at while I was showing, but I would highly recommend getting food from one of the many food trucks and vendors there, just taking a walk through the barn and asking the 4-H exhibitors about their projects. As someone who was in 4-H, you spend a whole year working towards it. So I think it's super cool to ask these kids about their projects, what their animal's name is, or their tabletop project, and just finding out more about the kids.
That's great.
I would love to agree with her because our kids are really insightful and they know everything that they can about their project. I'm also going to be showing this year because I am not out of 4-H just yet. I have a couple more years to go. So I will be showing steers and horses this year. But I am so excited for the food. That's my favorite part. Those curly fries are really something to try.
Well, thank you both. We're really proud to have you representing Adams County and look forward to seeing you at the fair. And now we'll go down and take some photos. think that's all of our photos and celebrations. It's always fun to celebrate. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment this morning?
We do not.
Okay, is there anyone here who would like to make a public comment? You can come on down, introduce yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes. All right, we always ask. You never know. Is there any elected official communication this morning? Seeing none, do we have a motion on the consent calendar? So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. And this one passes unanimously. Okay. County Manager, what do you have for us for new business?
Good morning, Commissioners. There are a couple of items for you this morning. The first is a resolution approving an agreement between Adams County and Trane U.S. Incorporated in the amount of $5,228,577. That is for Phase 2 mechanical upgrades, or HVAC, at the Adams County Detention Facility Cooperative Agreement 2023.178. Kat Townsend will present.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Kat Townsend, Project Manager with Facilities and Fleet Management, Planning, Design, and Construction Department. This morning, we are seeking the Board of County Commissioners to approve an agreement with Trane U.S. Inc. for Phase 2 mechanical upgrades at the Adams County Detention Facility. The mechanical systems were thoroughly evaluated and recommendations presented based on low, medium, and high-level needs. The highest concerns were identified with a level of degradation beyond the industry standard ASHRAE guidelines of life expectancy. These key systems are antiquated or obsolete components and are discontinued to repair, and have major impacts on the facility to efficiently operate without disruption. The outdated equipment causes irregularities of temperatures and poor air quality that is inadequate within an occupied facility that serves professionals, patrons, staff, and our community. Study session in November of 2023 reviewed the various assessments performed and or underway, along with several ongoing projects and the need for continued required maintenance and repairs at the detention facility. Adams County is a member of Omni Partners, a co-op purchasing organization that performs solicitations following the Adams County Purchasing Policy Appendix E. Trane U.S. Inc. holds a cooperative agreement through Omni Partners for HVAC and mechanical repairs and replacement. Adams County's 2024 CIP appropriated funding for the detention facility needs that appropriated funding for the detention facility needs that impedes operations, which include mechanical upgrades. American Rescue Plan Act grant funding committed to dedicating $3 million to support this project for the enhancement of indoor air quality. We recommend awarding an agreement with Trane U.S. Inc. in the amount of $5,228,577 for the detention facility mechanical upgrades. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I did have a question. I think it was answered earlier today, but I wanted to ask it on public record. Because we're going after federal monies, the wage standards are being regulated for prevailing wage?
Yes, this is a Davis-Bacon Act type contract with prevailing wage rates for the contract.
And the reason I ask that is because Adams County is close to passing prevailing wage, and so it's of interest to me that we abide by those prevailing wage, especially in the atmosphere we are right now in the economy, and we hold those standards at the highest level so that our community benefits from these projects like this. I will also say, because it's very intimate to me about HVAC, that the standards be followed for HVAC, because regardless of whether you put in a new unit or revamp an old unit, if you're not following the standards, the airflow cannot be managed the way that is expected. And I'm hoping that we have those regulations in the contract and are following those.
Yes, and we anticipated because of the ARPA grant that we are under federal guidelines, and so we anticipated to follow those guidelines.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions from my colleagues? I don't see any in the queue. Seeing no questions, do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
The computer's thinking about it. It's thoughtfully considering your motion.
I clicked move too just to see. It's not working.
Any advice, clerk, or do you want us to do a voice vote?
We'll do a voice vote.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Baca and a second from Commissioner Odorizio, and we'll do a voice vote.
Commissioner Baca,
Yes.
Commissioner Odorizio,
Yes.
Commissioner Tedesco,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinter.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that passes unanimously.
Our second item is a resolution approving a master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management in the amount of $535,700 for the lease of vehicles and light to medium duty trucks. Cooperative Agreement 2024.709. Mike Gutierrez will present this.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm Mike Gutierrez, Fleet Operations Manager. Adams County light-duty fleet averages about 390 vehicles. There are 20 vehicle classes, including sedans, hybrids, EV vehicles, pickups, and other general-use vehicles under 1 ton. 7 departments will be replacing vehicles in 2024. A total of 37 vehicles will be replaced that have reached or exceeded their full useful life cycle. These vehicles will be leased from Enterprise Fleet Management on variable lease terms of 36 to 60 months through Sourcewell, an approved cooperative purchasing agreement. Fleet is requesting the use of this awarded agreement for the leasing of these light-duty vehicles in the not-to-exceed amount of $535,700 annually. Are there any questions?
Yes, I see a couple of questions. We'll start with Commissioner Henry and then Commissioner Tedesco.
Are any of these hybrids or electric?
Yes. As of right now, there are 2, possibly 3 electric.
Out of how many?
3?
Out
Out
of
of 37, sorry.
Out of 37, only 2?
3.
3.
Yes.
Only 3.
Yes.
Only 3 out of 37.
Yes. We are working, the more the vehicles are available in these certain classes, we will be pushing towards electric.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Walk me through, because now that we're replacing these vehicles, what are we doing with the old vehicles? How does that process work?
With the older vehicles, we will be disposing. We will be sending them to roller auctions is who we use for our disposal. And they'll be sold at auction.
Okay, so they're all just going to auction.
Yes.
Do we work with the state on their auction program?
No.
I know that we work with the state through the airport, through airport equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a process there. I'm just wondering if we work through that process as well.
Okay, I can look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve as presented.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We get to vote electronically this time. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Anything else, County Manager? All right, County Attorney.
Good morning, Commissioners. I would ask that we go into executive session today pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 246402-4B for the purpose of receiving legal advice regarding specific ownership tax.
Move to approve.
Second?
That also passes unanimously. Thank you. Anything else? All right, next up is our land use. Let's take a few minutes to recess. Let me check what time it is. There it is. Why don't we go ahead and be back at 10:07. Mauricio wander in from the snowstorm whenever he feels capable. Let's begin with our land use hearing. Staff will let you get started.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Nick Eagleson with the Community and Economic Development Department, and I'll be presenting the Metivier Rezoning. This is case number RCU 2023-50 and is located at 2531 West 56th Avenue. The request is for a zoning map amendment or rezoning of 0.21 acres from residential 1C or R1C to residential 2 or R2. Here's a large aerial view of where the site is located. As you can see outlined here in the center of the screen, West 56th Avenue is directly adjacent to the south. Alcott Street is directly adjacent to the west, so it is on a corner lot. Zunai Street to the east, and then just for context, I-76 you can see to the northwest there. Here's a closer aerial view of the site. Again, it's located on that northeast corner of West 56th Avenue and Alcott Street. It's generally surrounded by single-family residential uses as well as duplex uses. And then this is a newer development to the east here, consisting of single-family dwellings. Again, the current zoning is R1C. It's mostly surrounded by R1C to the north of West 56th Avenue. Everything to the south, as you can see here in this orange color, is R2. And then this is that newer development, which is zoned PUD to the east here, again, consisting of single-family residential. The future land use designation designates this area, the entire area, as you can see, as residential medium, which does allow still for single-family residential, but does kind of act more as a transitional type of housing and allows for duplexes, triplexes, and uses of that nature. When looking at the criteria for approval, we look to see that the rezoning is consistent with the Adams County Comprehensive Plan, that it's consistent with the development standards and complies with any development standards, and that it's also harmonious and compatible to the surrounding area. So when looking at the R2 zone district dimensional standards, we just want to make sure that those are being met for the rezoning request. The minimum lot size is 3,500 square feet per dwelling unit. The existing lot right now is just a little over 9,100 square feet. And then the minimum lot width requirement for corner lots is 37.5 feet and 35 feet for internal lots. And they have 160 feet along the Alcott street. This is the conceptual site plan that the applicant provided for the future plans out there. Currently, it just consists of a single-family home and detached garage. The detached garage will be going away, and they'll be building an attached garage and then a second attached garage, which will create a duplex again down the road. Here are the minimum required setbacks, also that we'll be reviewing at the time of permit, and the applicant did demonstrate that the setbacks would be met for the additional dwelling out there on site. Here's a couple photos of the site. The photo on the left here is looking down towards the east along West 56th Avenue with the property on the left here. This other photo is looking towards the north down Alcott Street with the property located on the right-hand side here. During the referral period, we notified property owners and occupants within 750 feet of the site. We sent a total of 256 notifications. We did receive one public comment. They did have some questions about sidewalk installation along Alcott Street. And then here are some referral agencies who responded without having any concern as well. This did go to Planning Commission to a public hearing on January 25th of this year. There was no public comment at that hearing, and Planning Commission did vote to recommend approval by a vote of 5-0. And staff does feel that this is compliant with the development standards and is also compatible with the surrounding area. And staff is also recommending approval of the rezoning request with 4 findings of fact and 2 notes. And here are those findings of fact and 2 notes. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't see any questions from the board. Is the applicant here? Oh yeah, come on down. You don't have to make a presentation, or you're welcome to do so, or just provide some comments. Please introduce yourself and tell us why this is important to you.
My name is Steve Mason. I'm with Studio 646 Architecture. I'm here on behalf of the owner. So we're just helping him get through the process to rezone this. And as Nick mentioned, we felt the context of rezoning this in that area works well. So I don't have any other comments unless you have any questions.
Any questions? Seeing no questions from the board, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't believe I see any members of the public here, but is there anyone here who would like to make a public comment on this land use item? Okay, seeing no comments, unless there are questions from the board, does anyone have a motion?
Madam Chair,
Thanks, Steve.
move to approve RCU 2023-50 Metivier Rezoning on 56th Avenue. This is done with 4 findings of facts and 2 notes.
Second.
Great, we have a motion and a second. Passes unanimously. Congratulations. Thank you. I believe that concludes our public hearing. So we are out of public hearing at 10:15. Our first up is executive session. County Attorney, do you want us to have that here or do you want us to go upstairs?
We have quite a few participants in this one, so I think we should go upstairs.
Let's go upstairs. We'll go upstairs, have our executive session and study session.